Dr. Ellen Marsh made $340,000 last year. Her waiter, the man who served her the same table every Tuesday for 11 years, made $41,000. Last spring, Ellen looked up from her salad and asked him a question she'd never asked before. "Marcus, how much longer are you working here?" He smiled. "Actually, I'm retiring in March." She laughed. Then she realized he wasn't joking. Ellen is 52. She plans to work until 68. Marcus is 61. He retires at 62, 6 years earlier than the woman he's been serving lunch to for over a decade. This isn't a story about a lucky waiter. It's a story about two completely different relationships with money, and by the end, you'll never look at a paycheck the same way again. Ellen did everything right, top of her class.
Residency.
A hospital job with a six-figure salary before she turned 30. She bought a house in the good part of town, the kind with a circular driveway. She leased a new car every 3 years because a doctor shouldn't drive something embarrassing, private school for her 2 kids, a country club membership because that's where referrals happen. Every raise she got became a slightly nicer version of the life she already had. Here's the number that matters. Ellen saves about 8% of her income. Not because she's careless, because after the mortgage, the tuition, the car payments, and the country club dues, 8% is what's left. She's not poor. She's not even close. But she is what a lot of financial planners quietly call high income, low freedom. The salary is enormous. The gap between what she earns and what she needs is small. Marcus started waiting tables at 23. He never made more than $45,000 in a single year of his life. But here's what he did with it. At 25, a regular customer, a retired accountant, told him something over coffee. Whatever you do, put money in before you see it. If you never see it, you'll never miss it. Marcus opened a retirement account and set up an automatic transfer. Not a huge one. 12% of every paycheck before it ever hit his checking account. He kept the same one-bedroom apartment for 19 years, even after his tips improved. He drove the same Honda for 14 years. He never once increased his lifestyle to match a good month. By the time he was 40, that 12%, invested quietly, boringly, automatically, compounding through every market crash and recovery, had become a number most of his customers would never guess a waiter could have. Let's put the two of them next to each other. Ellen earns roughly 8 times what Marcus earns. Over a 30-year career, she will have taken home somewhere north of $9 million in gross income. Marcus, over the same 30 years, will have taken home just over $1.2 million. And yet, Marcus reaches financial independence 6 years before Ellen does. The difference isn't the income, it's the percentage. Ellen saves 8% of a very large number. Marcus saves 12% of a small one, and because he started at 25 instead of Ellen's 34, his money has 9 extra years of compounding working in the background, silently doubling and doubling again while he served tables. 9 extra years at even modest market returns isn't a small edge. It's often the single biggest variable in the entire equation, bigger than the size of the paycheck itself. Your instinct is probably to say, sure, but Ellen could catch up anytime she wants. She makes so much more. And she could. That's the tragic part. The gap isn't ability. It's that nobody ever told Ellen the one sentence that changed Marcus's entire life. Pay yourself first before you see the money. Ellen was taught how to earn. Marcus was taught how to keep. Those turn out to be 2 completely different skills, and only one of them was ever tested on her exams. Here's the uncomfortable truth hiding in this story. Your income is not your financial plan. Your savings rate is a high income without a system just means your lifestyle gets more expensive at the same rate your paycheck grows, and you stay in exactly the same place, just with better furniture. Marcus didn't out-earn his doctor. He out-saved her starting 9 years earlier on autopilot without ever having to think about it twice. The size of the number isn't what buys your freedom. The percentage you never see is. So here's the question worth sitting with. If your paycheck doubled tomorrow, would your savings rate double with it? Or would your life just get a little more comfortable at the same 8%? If you want to see exactly how small automatic percentages compound into decades of freedom, the next video breaks down the real math. Links on screen now.